Let's get into the topic of the night, which tonight we're going to be talking again about CreditMAX. This is a very important piece of our Financial Edge membership. CreditMAX is our credit restoration program. And so tonight, what I'm going to do over the next few minutes is I'm going to give you an overview of everything that CreditMAX has to offer. And so we're going to talk about the good and bad about credit. We're going to talk about our focus here at MWR Financial when it comes to credit and credit scores, kind of what separates us from everybody else in the industry. We're going to talk about how to get started with CreditMAX and how it all works. We're going to talk about how it can benefit you and your family, what makes us different again, or what separates us from the competition, and how you can use CreditMAX to build your business. Okay, so we're going to cover all of those things. I'm going to talk extremely fast tonight because I don't want to keep you guys on here forever, but we've got a lot of information to go over. So for those of you that are on the webinar side, which if you're not and you want to go there, you can actually go to join.startmeeting.com/MWR. So if you want to get on the webinar side to see what I'm talking about, you can actually do that. I will be doing mostly tonight I will just be talking, but there are some screens, some things that I do want you to be able to see in regards to our back office and our website. I'm going to start out with the CreditMAX section of our membership page on our website, and this will also be on our new getfinancialedge.com website. You'll see something very similar to this, but our CreditMAX program, guys, that's our credit restoration program. The purpose of this program is to help people raise their credit scores, help our members raise their credit scores or get their credit scores back into the best shape possible. And the average member that typically participates and uses this service typically experiences a credit score increase of anywhere between 50 to 150 points or more on average within about a 2 to 8 month period of time or even less. Okay, so now a 50 to 150 point score, obviously results vary for every client. So I do need to point that out. If you start out with an 800 credit score, it's going to be hard for us to get you 50 to 150 points. But based on the over 100,000 customers that we've serviced with this program over the years, that's what our average credit score increase is per member that has provided us with this information. So we've been very effective at helping people get their credit scores back into the best shape possible. Now, you're probably saying, well, how do you do that? So let me tell you how we do it. First of all, we are not a company that is in place to help people beat the system. That is not the purpose of the CreditMAX program. Our program, again, is to help people get their credit scores back into the best shape possible. Now, we do that by helping them exercise their rights under the laws that have been put into place to protect them as a consumer, specifically the Fair Credit Reporting Act as well as the Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act. In both of those laws, there is a provision in the Fair Credit Reporting Act. If my memory serves me correctly, I think it's Section 168 LI. There's a provision in the law that says any information on a consumer's credit file that is not 100% accurate, anything that is misleading, outdated, obsolete, or that can no longer be verified within a reasonable amount of time, which is approximately 30 working days, which is equal to about 45 total days, must promptly be corrected or deleted. Now, what our responsibility is at CreditMAX is to go in and dispute the validity, accuracy, and ownership of any or all derogatory information contained on your credit file with each credit reporting agency. We deal with TransUnion, Experian, and CSC, which is also known as Equifax, okay? Now, when we go in and dispute this information on your behalf, we do all the work for you. You actually sign over an LPOA, a limited power of attorney, for us to be able to address this on your behalf with each of the reporting agencies. We're going to be questioning, again, the validity, accuracy, and ownership of things like late pays, collections, judgments, tax liens, repossessions, charge-offs, foreclosure, bankruptcy items, and even bankruptcy filings themselves. Our focus is to put the burden of proof back on the creditor and the credit reporting agencies for them to verify the information that they're reporting about you. Now, if they choose not to do that, or if we prove it to be incorrect, or they're unable to prove it to be correct, then that information has to be deleted or corrected. Well, each item you get deleted or corrected can potentially raise your credit scores. And raising your credit scores can have a huge impact on almost everything you do that involves credit, which is about everything you do these days. Your credit scores affect your ability to obtain certain types of employment. It can affect your interest rates, your down payments, your car insurance, your homeowner's insurance premiums, your ability to be able to rent property. All of these things can be affected by your credit score. And so it makes sense to make sure that your credit score is always into the best shape possible. And that's what our experts do. Now, let me say this. Again, our program is not designed to help people beat the system, okay? Our focus here with CreditMAX is on raising your credit scores so that you can lower your expenses. We use CreditMAX, our restoration program, to help you create cash flow by lowering your interest rates, which can in turn lower your monthly payments. It can also lower your current car or homeowner's insurance premiums by raising your credit scores. And what that does is that frees up cash flow that can allow you to accelerate debt elimination, help you get rid of your debts quicker because we freed up cash flow, or you can utilize that money to help you start saving or investing for retirement, which is what our program's all about. It's about showing people how to do the right things with their money so that they can retire in years instead of decades, and they have a system that's going to help them accomplish that goal. CreditMAX is one piece of that. Now, the difference between us and some companies that focus strictly on credit restoration, and guys, believe me, I love this service. This is how I got my start in the financial solutions industry. I got started in this industry because I wanted to help people that were experiencing the same thing I experienced. I've actually been on the other side of the table. I've been the guy that got out of college, tried to buy his first home, couldn't qualify for lending because he had so many late pays from when he was in college. And some of you know what I'm talking about, where you go to school these days and the first thing that they do for freshmen in school or when you go to college is you've got all these credit card companies out there offering you a credit card and a T-shirt or a mug or whatever it may be to entice you as a student to go ahead and start getting into debt, get credit, okay? I will tell you, some of the most prominent financial experts in the world will tell you that is the best way to put yourself behind right at the beginning of life. Make sure if you've got kids that you inform them, especially those young adults that are going to college, make sure you inform them how to use credit properly and that they do not want to get in debt early on. So credit these days has been made so readily available that, you know, credit is a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. Credit is a good thing when you use it in the right way, meaning that if you're going out to get credit cards, guys, that's the worst thing you can do, okay? It doesn't mean you don't need a credit card, and I don't have a problem with people getting a credit card. But if you're using credit to accumulate more debt, you're going to end up with credit problems. Now, so it's kind of a double-edged sword when it comes to credit. It's an important piece of your finances, but if it's used incorrectly, it can bury you in your finances. It can bury you in debt. It can put you into a position to where it will compound the problem. And so we don't want to see that happen to you. So we want you to use credit responsibly. There are good debts that you can obtain with credit, and then there are bad debts. And I don't have to go into all the details on that. I can give you a couple of examples. Credit cards, bad debt. Okay, good debt, mortgage. Okay, on a home, those type of things, building equity, those are good things, okay? So there's a good and a bad side to credit. Now, the reason we focus the way we do is because we don't want people to get into credit problems. And the reason I started in this industry and ended up going into a complete financial solutions program is because we saw that when we just help people straighten out their credit without providing them with all of the other financial pieces to the puzzle that are available in our Financial Edge membership, then all we did was provide a Band-Aid to our clients' problems, our clients' financial problems. Because if credit is the only thing you're focused on, I can tell you, you will continue to struggle financially because your mindset is focusing on something that can get you into trouble if you don't have the other tools or the other pieces of the puzzle in place. So our purpose with CreditMAX is to use it as a tool to help you do better financially and to create cash flow. Now, with that, there's a couple other things I need to point out. We're going to talk about compliance just a little bit. But when I talk about compliance, I want you to first of all understand that CreditMAX is actually a free benefit of a Financial Edge membership. Now, you're saying, well, we pay $79.97 a month for a Financial Edge membership. Well, yeah, you do, but what you need to understand is that this membership package has been put into place for years, okay? It actually started out with just MoneyMax, WealthMax, and EquityMax. Those were the three programs. When CreditMAX was added to that existing membership, which the names have now changed, we changed the ending. It used to be CreditTrax, EquityTrax, MoneyTrax, WealthTrax, but now they're Max programs. When we made that change, okay, or when we added CreditMAX, we added it to an existing membership that did not increase the cost of the membership. So it became a piece of the puzzle, but it wasn't the main piece of the puzzle, okay? And so now I realize some people want to work on just their credit. But I also want you to realize that when you're talking about our program, this is actually a free benefit of a Financial Edge membership. The company absorbed the cost without passing the cost on to the consumer or the client when we added CreditMAX to our membership. And so that's a big deal. So from a compliance perspective, that is something that I think you need to understand. It's in our agreement. Everybody should understand that. Now, the other thing is that we are a CROA compliant credit restoration company. Now, what does that mean? Well, the Credit Repair Organizations Act is the actual law that governs our industry. That's the federal law that actually governs the credit restoration industry. Okay? Now, when that law came out, it was actually designed to eliminate predatory credit restoration companies that were preying on the consumer. And so it eliminated a lot of companies out of the industry. And when that happened, there were a lot of companies that there were predatory attorneys that sued these companies. I owned a company called QCS Inc. or Quality Credit Services, which we DBA'd as CreditTrax, which is now something you see as CreditMAX. But with QCS Inc., we were hit by these predatory attorneys that were actually suing companies. Well, one of the things that we're the most proud of when it comes to credit restoration is that we're one of the only companies in history to actually have a federal judge, Judge Joseph M. Hood, I hope he doesn't mind me saying his name on here, who is a federal judge in Michigan Federal Court, that signed off as to our compliance to the Credit Repair Organizations Act in regards to our agreement and our process. Now, guys, that was a big deal for us. And the reason it was a big deal for us is because it separated us from everybody else in the industry. It gave our clients the security of knowing that they were dealing with a company that did things the right way, that complied with a law that is very hard to comply with, and that they had the security of knowing that they had a company that was going to do things correctly. And so that was a big deal. That gave us court precedence, but it gave our clients a ton of security, especially when there are so many companies out there to choose from in this industry. So that kind of separated us. The other thing was, in regards to compliance that I want to talk about tonight, is from your perspective. And I want you to realize that we can make no specific claims when it comes to what type of items can be removed off of a consumer's credit file. Now, why do I say that? Obviously, we've had a great success rate at removing, everything that I talked about before. However, you can't make specific claims, and there are a lot of companies that make specific claims. They offer 100% guarantee that they're going to get things deleted off of your credit file. Now, let me tell you why that's not compliant and why you can't do that. Why you can't do it is because when you make those type of claims, you're actually speaking for a third and fourth party. Okay, so you're speaking for the credit bureau and the creditor directly. If an item's disputed and it's 100% accurate and verifiable, it can remain on your credit file. So you can't speak for that third and fourth party. So I think that's important to understand. The other thing is that with our track record, over 100,000 satisfied customers, spotless record with the Better Business Bureau, a lot of that comes from being compliant, but also under-promising and over-delivering. We want to set realistic expectations for our clients, and we want our clients to be involved in the process. Okay, so I think all those things are important. So now that I've given you all of this information, let's get into how you can actually get started with our program, with our CreditMAX program. And I think I've already logged in, and you guys know at the top right-hand corner of our websites, you actually have a login button to go to your dashboard. We're going to pretend you've already logged in. Let's go to the dashboard. Once you get into your dashboard, you're going to actually be able to see your Financial Edge service here, and there's a link that says click here to access your Financial Edge service. So if we click on that, then it's going to end up taking you into your MWR Financial portal. Okay, now in here you have access to all of the services that are included in your Financial Edge membership. Obviously tonight we're talking about CreditMAX, and I'm not going to go into a ton of detail on this because we have how to get started links and everything, but I do want to walk you through the process very, very quickly and what's available in CreditMAX so we can get to how to use CreditMAX to build your business. But at the same time, you have two ways to access CreditMAX. You can go to the services link at the top and click on CreditMAX, or you can actually go to the member access button below CreditMAX and click on that here. Once you do that, and guys, I apologize. Let's see. Hopefully this will allow me to go in here. Once you do that, you click on member access. It's going to take you to the CreditMAX member access page. And I want to point out that at the top here, you're going to see how-to instructions. These how-to instructions are available for all our services, but if you click on it, it walks you through everything with CreditMAX, okay? How to monitor our progress, update your profile, upload your documents, all that stuff is right here. How to get started, our 4-step enrollment process, step 1, step 2. Step 3, all of that is right here if someone needs assistance in walking through the process. However, to make it really simple, let's go back to the member access page. When you get ready to get started, we have an Enroll Now button right here, okay, where it says Credit Restoration Enrollment. Beside it to the right, it says Enroll Now. Now, once we click on this, all right, it's going to take you, and it should take you to step 1. For the purpose of tonight, because we were recording this, I actually disabled step 1 on this particular customer. Step 1, if you'll notice up here, when you initially click on this, it's going to take you to where you're going to listen to a consultation. As soon as you click on that Enroll Now button, that consultation will start playing. It's a 5-minute consultation. It explains everything we're responsible for during the process, what you're responsible for. We're obviously going to do all the work for you, but we want you to know what is expected while we're going through this process. So it's very important that our clients are involved in the enrollment process, that it's not done just by the consultant, that they go through this process. And I'll explain another reason why that's important here right now, and that is that when you go through step 2, after you continued from step 1 and now we're on step 2 here, you're going to enter in all of your information. And obviously, We've pre-populated this with a test customer, but you'll notice you need to enter your Social Security number. You're going to need to enter your date of birth, and so we're going to do this very, very quickly. And I want to make sure I pick a date that shows you're over 18 years of age. Your spouse's information. Your spouse is also included in our membership, so you're able to include her or him in the credit restoration process. So you can enter your spouse's information here, social, date of birth, or full name, okay? All of that can be entered. You want to check and verify that the address we have on file for you that's been passed through to our system is correct, that your email address is correct, cell phone is correct. You can enter an alternate phone number, which is optional. If you have not lived at your current address for at least 2 years, please enter in a previous customer address in this section. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to agree to your rights under state and federal law and to our CreditMAX service agreement. There's a little link here that you can click on that says here. You can click on it. It'll pull up our agreement as well as a copy of your rights under state and federal law, which is part of the compliance process, but you have to click this button or check this box in order to be able to continue. And once you do that, you're going to continue, and when you do, it's going to take you to steps 3 and 4. So you're going to see congratulations, and step 3 and 4 is basically instructions on what you need to do next. Step 3, you're going to order your credit reports. We provide you with 2 options to order your credit reports. And I'm going to pull something up here. As soon as you've done that, you're going to get an email that congratulates you with our contact information. You can see this email was just sent, so it has all the information in here that you'll need in order to maintain this for your record, but everything you need to be able to communicate with us. Now, once you've done, or step 3 here, you're going to have 2 options to obtain your credit reports. You're going to be able to go to MWRsmartcredit.com. I'm going to click on this, and then we'll actually come back. But this is a program that MWR Financial, we partnered with Smart Credit, and if you go directly to smartcredit.com, they actually offer the same service that we offer. It's $29.95 per month to get all 3 bureaus with scores, the money manager, ID theft alerts, push button communication with your creditors, all of these things. They charge $29.95 for it because of our volume, because of the number of clients we have. We negotiated pricing so that you guys can get all 3 bureaus with scores, real-time updates, money manager, credit reports and score updates, real-time updates on ID theft alerts, to where if anybody ever uses your credit or anything, you are automatically notified, and you have the ability to select whether it is yours or not yours. You can see this little cell phone down here, which I think is pretty cool. So it's a great tool, and it's an add-on service, so it's optional. You do not have to pay for this service. It's just a service that we wanted to provide in case somebody wanted to monitor their progress while they're going through credit restoration with us in real time. Now, the other option is for obtaining your credit reports is www.annualcreditreport.com. And with both of these systems, all you got to do when you click on them, you just follow the instructions. It requests your free reports. You'll see this link. Go through the process, order your reports, and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to print them to a PDF so you can save them on your computer, or you'll want to download them so that you can then upload them into our system, which is step 4. And in order to upload them into our system, you're going to go back to your CreditMAX customer portal or the member access page, which you can go right here to services, click on CreditMAX, and it'll take you right back to that page. And I'm going to show you something here in just a second. But you can also, we prefer that they are uploaded into our system. I'm going to tell you that right now. The reason it's important to upload them is because you get immediate activity through our processors. You can also fax them, which we don't recommend because sometimes they don't come out very clear, but we do provide that as an option. Or you can scan and email them, and we don't like that process either because sometimes it delays things a little bit, whereas uploading gets them right into our system so our processors can begin immediately. But let's go back to where you're going to upload your credit reports after you have downloaded them. You'll go back to your CreditMAX member access area, and if you'll notice, since you've completed your enrollment, the green Enroll Now button is gone. It's no longer there, okay? You'll still see where you can access Smart Credit here if you need to do that, or MWR Smart Credit, but you'll also notice you now have an upload section to be able to upload your credit reports. I'm going to walk through this very quickly. You click on Choose Files. Once you do that, you can actually go, and I'm just going to pick one here. We'll do our CreditMAX service agreement that I was working with earlier, and so I'll select it. I'll hit Open. When I do that, you're going to see CreditMAX Service Agreement popped in here. Something very important. All file names should consist of only letters and numbers. No special characters, please. If you have special characters in your file name and you hit Upload, okay, let's see what happens here. Okay, this one didn't have any special characters, so you were fine. But if you had dashes or apostrophes or a colon or anything like that in here, it would end up not uploading for you. So you need to make sure that your upload process. So when you see the file name show up there, you know you got your upload in. Now, the other thing that's important is your status here. As you'll see, this shows new. Okay, when it gets assigned to our processor, that status will change to in process, and you'll see the date right here that it changed to that. When your upload has been reviewed and or any disputes have been processed, mailed to the credit reporting agencies, your status will change to completed, and you'll see the completed date there. We also have info needed or update profile, which are pretty self-explanatory if you see those in the status column. But when it says completed, whatever that completed date is, you should, if it's a credit report that is the file name for that, you should actually expect results back from the credit reporting agency or agencies within 30 working days from this date. That means it has been processed and that it has went in the mail. It either went in that day or the following day. It does not sit around our office, okay? So this is how you keep track of your uploads and what's going on. If you have the credit monitoring with our MWR Smart Credit today, you'll get notifications anytime your report changes. You'll see that in real time. But what's important is that the credit bureaus are required to respond within 30 working days, which is approximately 45 days. The information you receive, it may look like junk mail because they do not put a return address on it. It will just have your name in a window because they don't want anybody to know that that's your credit report being mailed to you. So you need to pay close attention to your mail. It's extremely important. We have people all the time that throw their credit reports away. We don't want to see that happen to you because then it means we have to resubmit or request something or you have to pull your report in order to be able to see what has happened, what changes have been made or corrections or deletions. So definitely pay close attention to that. Now, this is our CreditMAX member access area. That's how you enroll. That's how you upload your reports into our system. I've made it lengthy, but literally it takes people about 5 to 10 minutes to do most of this if they just go through the process. Other than our consultation, that is 5 minutes by itself, and I highly recommend you listen to the entire thing, but I wanted to save that time tonight, so we skipped step 1 of the enrollment, but it is there. Now, I'm going to touch on another thing here real quick. We've got some links over here, Credit 101, that'll educate you a little bit on credit. Frequently asked questions that you can click on. Cost of negative credit. This is a great tool to be able to use to show people the impact their credit scores are having on their interest rates and their monthly payments and their car insurance and premiums, all of those things. A link to annualcreditreport.com. You're also going to see another link added here for MWRsmartcredit.com, which just recently got added over about the last 3 weeks. And then you're going to see our Credit Rebuilding Center. Now, our Credit Rebuilding Center, if you need help establishing or reestablishing your credit history, you can go right to your Credit Rebuilding Center, and you're going to have access to revolving credit through Open Sky Secured Visa Card. This is a great way to establish a revolving line of credit, and our experts will notify you after the restoration process if this is something you need to pursue in order to try to get your scores even higher. We like to go through the restoration process first before doing this, so that because you may be able to qualify for an unsecured card. You may not need to use any of these services, and you may be able to get a better rate. So that we want to wait till after the restoration process. You have an installment program here to be able to establish an installment line of credit. And you're getting ready to see a program called Rent Tracker, which is going to allow you to be able to have your rent reported as a trade line, which will help you gain points on your credit score if you're currently renting right now and maybe don't have the means to be able to get a secured credit card or to qualify for a loan on your own. You're going to have Rent Tracker that's going to help you establish your credit history by reporting your rent to all 3 reporting agencies. Matter of fact, that program alone is helping people gain, based off their statistics, anywhere between 29 to 40 points in a very short period of time. So it's going to be a phenomenal tool that'll be there. We'll have that up here before long in our back office, but I did want to point that out to you. Now, guys, I think I have covered pretty much everything about CreditMAX. It's a lot of information, I know, but I hope you've gotten some great information here that you can use. I'm going to leave you with this because I want to talk to you about, excuse me, guys. I want to talk to you about how our program is helping other people in other industries. And so I'm going to try to pull something up. I'm hoping I can get to it very, very quickly. Okay, I think I can. I'm going to pull up our PowerPoint here. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm going to grab a quick slide because I'm going to show you the benefits just to a mortgage and real estate professional in regards to our Financial Edge membership. You can see here it says Mortgage and Real Estate Financial Edge, best way to close more loans and sell more homes. All right, let me pull up this one page, though, and we're going to do a slideshow on it. We're going to do it from the current slide. Bear with me. All right. If you have not seen this, you need to pay attention to it because I'm telling you, this is what we can do for the mortgage and real estate industry. There are 2 huge benefits for mortgage and real estate. One is to their client. The other is to loan officers and real estate agents. The benefits to their client, we've created a win-win for everyone involved. And what I mean by that is their clients get to benefit by restoring their credit, increasing equity in their homes, lowering their debt-to-income ratios, increasing their buying power, being able to reduce their tax liability through home ownership, being able to get special assistance if needed with tax or bad debt issues so that they can actually own the home or get a loan. Okay, so that's a big deal. Now, the benefit to the loan officer or the real estate agent is overwhelming. With our program, they have the ability to create clients instead of competing for clients. What I mean by that, they can actually turn renters into buyers. Instead of just going after clients that are already able to qualify for lending, they can actually go after people that aren't able to qualify and put them into a position to qualify for lending, which is huge. They have the ability to get paid on their turn downs. They have the ability to recapture past turn downs out of their database. Imagine a mortgage or real estate professional being able to go back to every client that they've turned down in the last year and be able to offer them a solution. Guys, that's what our program does for them, all of which will help them increase their pipeline of customers. It'll help them retain their customers, and it'll separate them from the competition. Instead of just being the mortgage company or real estate agent that gave them a turn down letter because they couldn't qualify. Instead, they provided them with a solution to their financial challenges. Instead of being the mortgage or real estate professional that just sold them a home, okay, now they're the mortgage or real estate professional that didn't just sell them the home. They showed them how to pay it off in record time with our CreditMAX program. So literally the only way a mortgage or real estate professional can lose when it comes to our Financial Edge membership as a whole, and especially when you look at CreditMAX and how it relates to the mortgage and real estate industry, the only way they or their clients can lose is if they choose not to participate, if they choose not to have Financial Edge as part of their portfolio as a solution to their financially challenged clients or credit challenged or debt challenged clients. Okay, so that's a big deal. Now, CreditMAX is also beneficial to bankruptcy attorneys. Think about it. Bankruptcy attorneys help people file bankruptcy. Then they have all these challenges they have to deal with. CreditMAX can help a lot of those people work on getting their credit back into the best shape possible after going through a bankruptcy. In addition to that, you've got the automobile industry, F&I professionals that can benefit from CreditMAX by maybe, most car loans these days can be gotten for anybody, pretty much. But let's point out a fact here. Sometimes those rates are extremely high, and the payments are extremely high. This gives somebody in the automotive industry the ability to be able to offer those clients a solution to maybe get their credit scores back into the best shape possible so that they can come back in and trade that vehicle and get a lesser payment or a lesser interest rate, or be able to refinance that vehicle. And guys, we're getting ready in our Debt Resolution Center to add an automobile refinancing program that will help get people's automobile rates down as low as possible. So you just heard that from me. That's a product that Jordan introduced me to. Jordan Goodman, America's Money Answers Man. It is an incredible product, and you're going to see a bunch of other services added to our Debt Resolution Center. But guys, these are the ways that you can use CreditMAX to build your business by talking to people in these different industries. And on top of that, almost everyone you know can benefit from CreditMAX. So we can talk about different industries and getting to the masses and reaching a bunch of customers, but you have to realize that almost 83% of the American population has enough negative information on their credit file to keep them from obtaining normal financing, meaning they're paying higher interest rates, higher down payments, or they are unable to qualify at all for lending. That's 8 out of 10, every 10 people that you know can benefit from this program. And the great part is they get all of the other services with our Financial Edge membership. That's what they're purchasing, and they get CreditMAX as a free benefit of our program. So guys, with that, that is our training for tonight. I know it was a lot of information. It's a lot to absorb. I'm going to do my best to try to edit this so we can put it up on our YouTube site so you guys have a reference to this. You can point out certain sections of it. Definitely watch it over again. Make sure you recognize the minute marker of points you want to make, and you can actually forward to those when you're sharing it with people so they can get right to what you want them to see. But guys, listen, thank you so much for being on this call tonight. Thanks for all you're doing out there. We are growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, we're getting close to the holidays, and we're still putting up unbelievable numbers. You guys are. So I couldn't be more grateful and more thankful to be working with such an incredible group of people as each of you. So pay attention, Facebook, everything. And, guys, have a great night. Let's go have a great rest of the week. And, again, we appreciate every single one of you. Bye-bye, guys.